As dawn broke across Asia, newsrooms buzzed with urgency. The hum of printers, the clatter of keyboards, and the low murmur of anxious voices filled the air as journalists scrambled to verify facts and update headlines. The sense of anticipation was palpable, as if everyone knew that something significant was unfolding. China increases naval patrols. Near Taiwan, regional tensions soar, blared the scrolling red banner on global television screens. The alert flashed in bold, urgent letters, instantly grabbing the attention of viewers from Tokyo to New York, signaling that this was no ordinary news day. The air felt heavier in boardrooms from Seoul to Singapore. Executives paused mid-sentence, their eyes glued to the nearest screen, as the implications of the news began to sink in. Conversations shifted from quarterly profits to questions of security and stability. Every major news outlet led with scenes of Chinese warships slicing through contested waters. The footage was dramatic, showing sleek vessels cutting through the waves, their flags snapping in the wind, a stark reminder of the growing military presence in the region. The images were stark, showing vessels clustered uncomfortably close to the maritime borders of China's nervous neighbors. The proximity was unsettling, raising fears of accidental encounters or deliberate provocations that could spiral out of control. In the United Kingdom, news anchors cut to live footage of British diplomats convening at Number 10. The urgency was mirrored in capitals around the world as governments rushed to assess the situation and prepare official responses. Reports poured in about sudden spikes in military maneuvers not just in the South China Sea, but also stretching toward the East China Sea. Satellite images revealed fleets on the move, and analysts speculated about the scale and intent behind these operations. The message was clear: uncertainty was the new normal. In offices, cafes, and homes, people watched the news with furrowed brows, wondering what tomorrow might bring and how their lives could be affected by events unfolding thousands of miles away. Allies and adversaries alike watched, worried that a single misstep could ignite a larger crisis. Behind closed doors, world leaders weighed their options, aware that the balance of power in the region was more fragile than ever. Across Europe and Asia, government officials scrambled to respond. Emergency summits were called, with diplomats and military advisors gathering to coordinate strategies and share intelligence, hoping to prevent escalation. The world braced itself, knowing that the stakes in Asia were higher than ever. The sense of global interconnectedness was undeniable, as people everywhere realized that what happened in the Taiwan Strait could have ripple effects far beyond the region. The question on everyone's lips: how would the West respond to China's growing assertiveness? Would there be sanctions, diplomatic talks, or something more forceful? As speculation mounted, one thing was certain: the world was watching, and history was being written in real time. Keir Starmer, the United Kingdom's Prime Minister, watched the unfolding crisis with growing concern. The world was changing rapidly, and the challenges facing Britain were no longer confined to its own continent. As he absorbed the latest updates, Starmer realized that the stakes had never been higher for the nation's security and global standing. In a high-level cabinet meeting, he outlined a new defense strategy, one that would redefine Britain's role on the world stage. The room was tense, every official aware that the decisions made here could shape the country's future for years to come. "We must look beyond Europe," he insisted, his voice steady but urgent. The old ways of thinking were no longer enough. Starmer emphasized that Britain needed to adapt, to anticipate threats and opportunities far beyond its traditional sphere of influence. Our security now depends on alliances in Asia. The region's growing influence and volatility meant that Britain could not afford to stand on the sidelines. He pointed to reports of Chinese cyber attacks, highlighting the increasing sophistication and frequency of these digital threats, and intelligence on advanced missile systems in the Pacific. These developments, he warned, could not be ignored if Britain hoped to remain secure and relevant. Starmer's shift wasn't just talk. He called for deeper partnerships with nations that shared Britain's values and concerns. He reached out personally to foreign diplomats, signaling a new era of proactive engagement. His advisors nodded in agreement, recognizing the urgency and necessity of this new direction. The mood in the room shifted from uncertainty to determination. For the first time in decades, the United Kingdom's defense focus shifted eastward. Headlines across the world took notice, marking a significant turning point in British foreign policy. New faces joined the table, experts in Asian affairs, military attachés with experience in the region, and analysts who understood the complexities of the Indo-Pacific. Plans moved swiftly. Starmer's government reached out to trusted allies, laying the groundwork for new coalitions and joint initiatives. At the top of his list was Japan, a nation known for its stability, technological strength, and commitment to peace. The partnership promised mutual benefits in security, trade, and innovation. The message was simple: Britain was ready to build something new, and Japan was the ideal partner. Together, they would face the challenges of a changing world, forging a path toward a safer and more prosperous future. As the United Kingdom prepared its strategy for a rapidly changing world, the focus was not only on its own policies, but also on forging stronger international partnerships. In Tokyo, a key figure emerged at the center of these efforts: Sanae Takaichi, whose influence was growing both domestically and abroad. She served as Japan's Minister for Security and Defense Policy, a role that placed her at the heart of the nation's most critical decisions. Known for her calm demeanor and sharp mind, Takaichi commanded respect not only within Japan's political circles, but also among international leaders and diplomats. Rising quickly through Japan's political ranks, she earned a reputation for toughness, strategic thinking, and remarkable foresight, often anticipating challenges before they arose. Takaichi personally oversaw all major security talks with foreign partners, ensuring Japan's interests were always at the forefront of negotiations. British officials, in particular, praised her detailed knowledge of military technology, her grasp of international law, and her ability to bridge cultural divides during complex discussions. She was the chief architect behind Japan's upgraded defense policies, especially those designed to counter new and evolving threats from China and North Korea, adapting strategies to meet modern challenges. Her approach combined caution with unwavering determination, balancing the need for security with a vision for peace and stability in the region. Takaichi firmly believed that Japan's safety and prosperity depended on building and maintaining strong alliances with trusted partners. She welcomed Starmer's overtures, recognizing in them a unique opportunity to elevate Japan's global role and deepen cooperation with the United Kingdom. With both nations ready to engage, the stage was set for historic talks that could reshape the future of security and diplomacy in the region. Central to these talks was the Global Combat Air Program, or GCAP. This ambitious project aimed to develop cutting-edge fighter jets for the next generation. The United Kingdom, Japan, and Italy were the core partners, sharing technology and resources. GCAP was more than a weapons program; it was a symbol of trust and shared purpose. The new jets promised unmatched speed, stealth, and precision. They would be equipped with advanced sensors and artificial intelligence, capable of countering evolving threats in Asia and beyond. For Starmer and Takaichi, GCAP marked a new chapter in military cooperation. The deal also promised economic benefits. It would create jobs, boost research, and deepen technological ties between the United Kingdom and Japan. Both governments saw GCAP as insurance in a world where air superiority could decide the outcome of any conflict. The defense talks between Starmer and Takaichi covered a wide range of urgent topics. Cybersecurity was a top concern. Both sides shared intelligence on recent cyber attacks traced to hostile actors in East Asia. They discussed joint training exercises to improve their response to digital threats. Missile defense was another priority. British and Japanese experts reviewed satellite images, searching for signs of new missile deployments by China and North Korea. Plans were made to expand radar networks and share real-time data. The talks also focused on maritime security, with both nations pledging to increase patrols in contested waters. Innovation was central to every discussion. The two countries agreed to co-develop new technologies, from drones to unmanned submarines. The goal was clear: stay ahead of the curve and prevent any adversary from gaining the upper hand. Inside a secure government building in Tokyo, a joint task force pored over digital maps and intelligence briefings. Starmer, flanked by British military chiefs, listened intently as Takaichi outlined Japan's latest threat assessments. The atmosphere was tense, but focused. Every detail mattered, from troop movements to emerging cyber risks. Reporters gathered outside, awaiting updates. Inside, decisions came quickly. Teams drafted protocols for rapid information sharing and coordinated response drills. British and Japanese officers exchanged ideas on everything from logistics to language barriers. The sense of urgency was palpable. Failure was not an option. As night fell, a joint press conference took place. Starmer and Takaichi stood shoulder to shoulder, outlining their shared vision. The world watched, realizing that a new kind of alliance was taking shape, one built on transparency, trust, and resolve. For the United Kingdom, turning to Japan was a deliberate choice. Japan offered something rare: reliability in a turbulent region. Its political system was stable, and its defense policies were grounded in restraint and responsibility. British officials admired Japan's disciplined approach to security. Technological innovation was another draw. Japan's expertise in robotics, cybersecurity, and advanced manufacturing meshed perfectly with Britain's own strengths. Together, they could create military solutions that neither could achieve alone. This partnership would set a new standard for 21st-century alliances. Cultural ties also played a role. Decades of mutual respect and shared democratic values laid a strong foundation. For Starmer, working with Japan was about more than defense. It was about building a future where rules, not force, shaped the region's destiny. The stakes were high for both nations. For the United Kingdom, success meant a stronger voice in Asian affairs and a safer homeland. British businesses would benefit from new markets and technologies developed through defense cooperation. There was also the hope of inspiring other democracies to join the effort. For Japan, partnering with the United Kingdom brought new legitimacy to its defense policies. It showed the world that Japan was ready to lead, not just follow. The alliance sent a clear message to China and other challengers. Aggression would meet a united front. This partnership had ripple effects beyond Asia. NATO and other European powers took notice, considering ways to support or maybe even replicate the UK-Japan model. The global security landscape was shifting, and everyone was watching the outcome. The talks between Starmer and Takaichi marked just the beginning. New working groups were established to oversee joint research, training, and intelligence sharing. Officials planned regular high-level meetings to keep momentum alive. There was a sense of guarded optimism. Challenges remained, but so did opportunities. Analysts predicted that the UK-Japan partnership would become a cornerstone of regional security. Their collaboration on GCAP and other projects could deter aggression and inspire peaceful solutions to future crises. Other allies, from Australia to South Korea, expressed interest in joining similar initiatives. For now, the world waits and watches. If Starmer and Takaichi succeed, their alliance could offer a blueprint for peace in a time of uncertainty. For the people of Asia and beyond, it is a reason to hope that stability and cooperation can overcome fear and danger.